everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. Tonight I will be making you some chicken with some Monterey Jack cheese, some mini red potatoes, and I'm also going to be making some green beans on the side. The first thing I'm doing is I'm cutting up my little red potatoes into quarters. You don't have to do that. You can just cut them in half or just as a whole. But I'm going to boil them lightly first. I'm not going to cook them all the way, so I'm just going to put them in a pot with some hot water and a little bit of salt and let them boil for about 7 minutes or so, and then I'll be pulling them out of the water and I'll be back. Next, I'm gonna slice up some onion. I'm gonna take about half an onion and just cut that in little slices, and I will be adding that on the outside of my chicken when I put it in the oven. So just cut it in half and then just slice like little half moon bits like that. Okay, so next I have some Roma tomatoes, and I've got 2 medium-sized Roma tomatoes, and I'm just going to cut them in little slices. If you wish, you can cut this part off with all the seeds out of it. You don't need that. That just adds a little bit of extra juice, so if you want to go ahead and put that in there, go right ahead. I'm just going to slice them up like so. And this will go in with my chicken. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up these green beans. All I'm going to do is just cut the ends, but I'm going to leave them nice and long, and I've already rinsed them off, of course, and I did the same thing with the tomatoes, by the way. I'm just cutting off the ends. And I'm going to wait to cook these almost towards the end because they don't take very long. They'll just go in some boiling water with a little bit of salt and just let them get nice and green. And then we're gonna blanch them and put them in some cold water so they stop cooking, and they'll be ready to serve with a little bit of butter and some pepper. All right, so next is cutting up my cheese, and I've chosen this Monterey Jack with jalapeno peppers. And they're all nice and diced up in the cheese. So I'm just gonna cut up some little slices, and I've got 2 chicken breasts that I want to put this in. So I just wanna cut enough to put inside. And maybe a couple on the outside. And they're breaking off, but that's okay. And just cut off as many slices as you wish to put. If you don't like too much cheese, of course, don't put so much. Of course, also you could use your choice of cheese. A mozzarella cheese would work really nice in this. Gouda would also be great. Okay, I think that's enough. I may have cut too much, or maybe I didn't cut enough. We'll find out. All right, next will be my chicken. All right, so next I have these nice big chicken breasts, and I'm just gonna cut off a little bit of these little fatty bits that are on the edges here. I'm gonna cut off this part here as well. The same way. There's not a lot of it on there, so it's just a little bit that I need to trim off. Okay. Let's take that off. And some of this parts also. Okay. Now I'm just going to hold it down with one hand, and with my other knife, just go in and slice in. And just open it up like that to butterfly it. A little bit down the side to help it open up a little bit more. There you go. There's a butterfly chicken. Let's do the other one. Or rather, butterfly chicken breast, not a butterfly chicken, because this isn't a butterfly chicken. That's a different thing. Well, it's actually a whole chicken that's butterflied. So, okay, here we go. I've got my 2 chicken breasts. Now I'm going to season them, but first I'm going to wash my hands. And don't worry, there is a cutting board, a little cutting mat underneath this chicken. All right, let's season our chicken breasts. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on the inside while they're still open, some black pepper, the usual seasonings that I like to use. So if you've watched my videos, you see me use a lot of these same seasonings because these are the flavors that I like. Of course, you can season them as you like. This is some garlic powder, and because I am going with the Monterey Jack cheese that has the jalapeno, I am going sort of like a Tex-Mex flavor here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that with my chicken. I've also got some ground cumin that I'm going to sprinkle, and all these same seasonings I'm going to sprinkle on the outside of my chicken breast. So I'm also going to use a little bit of chili powder I'm going to use a bit of paprika. And I'm also going to be using some dried oregano. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get this cheese, and on half of the cheese, on half of the chicken breast, I'm going to lay the pieces of cheese, like so. I think that's good enough. One left over for me to, you know, let me snack on it now before I touch the chicken again. Oh, it's so good it fell off. Okay, let's close this up, just like that. And now we're going to season what would be the bottom. I'm going to put them into a pan to sear them a bit. Then I'm going to turn them around and I'll season them in the pan on the other side with the same seasonings that I just used on the inside. Here I have a hot skillet and I'm putting some olive oil right in there. And I'm going to put the seasoned chicken breast with the seasoning side down onto my skillet. So let me go and grab those. All right, so I've got one in there. Now I'm taking the other one and just carefully placing it in there. Once you get it in there, don't move it around. Once it starts cooking, you'll be able to move it. But for now, let's leave it, let it cook. And I'm going to season this side with the same seasoning. All right, I've been letting them sear for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and turn them over. Just going to pull them off, make sure they're not sticking. Gently turn them. Just that season there. And all I want is to get this sear on the outside right there, just like that. Okay, let me look for the opening. This is the side that has the opening. That's the side that I'm going to grab and then turn to make sure that none of this comes flying out. Okay, so I did have it at a medium to high heat. And now I'm going to throw these onions in there. And I'm going to let this other side sear for the same amount of time. Now let's drop all these onions in there and we'll be back. All right, while my chicken is searing, I'm going to quickly season my potatoes. I've drained as much of the water as I can out of them. They're not fully cooked. They're still kind of hard, but you know, you can put your finger into it, but it's not mushy. So now we're just going to add some olive oil. Just drizzle some in there. That's about a tablespoon or so. Season with salt and pepper and some garlic powder. I'm not going to use the cumin or the chili powder, but I am going to be using this oregano in there just to give them some color, make them look pretty. Stir them around just to get them all nice and covered with the oil and such. And this is going to go into the pan with my chicken breast. All right, so while those couple of minutes to prepare the potatoes were done, the chicken has seared on the bottom here. Let's take a look. I'm open that up for you. You can take a look at that. Okay, and as you can see, it's still raw on the inside, but we are going to be putting this into the oven. So now what I want to do is I want to put these little potatoes on the side here. It's all over, and this is all going to cook together. I've got my oven at 375. It's almost preheated. I'm just putting all of these in there. I'm going to go ahead and dump them right in with any of the oil that was still in there. Any seasonings can drizzle down. And just push them around the chicken. And this is going to go into the oven. And I'm doing this on my cast iron skillet. You can use a regular skillet that is oven safe, or if you want to transfer this to a casserole dish that you can't put in the oven, a baking pan, go ahead and do so before you put the potatoes in there. And then arrange the potatoes, of course, and stick it in there. We're going to let this cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. We're going to check it, and then we're going to see if it needs any more time on that chicken or the potatoes are nice and tender. And then we're going to go ahead and pull this out. The reason that I seared my chicken is just to sear in some of those juices so they don't escape too much and the chicken won't be too dry. All right, here I've got a pot of boiling water, and I'm just going to toss my green beans in there and let them boil for about 3 to 4 minutes. just so they're a little bit tender. And then we're gonna pull them out and cool them off and season them. Okay, so my green beans have been boiling for about 3 to 4 minutes. And instead of throwing them in cold water, I'm just gonna go ahead and put them in this little pan here because I decided to add some extra things and go ahead and put them in the oven. So there we go, all our green beans go in there. I'm just going to spread them out a little bit. And I'm going to season them with some pepper. I like lots of pepper in there. A tiny bit of salt. Garlic powder all over because that is just yum. I'm gonna add a little bit of this oregano and I'm gonna top it off with some slivered onions, just a little bit just to give it some flavor. And then these tomatoes that I cut up, these are also going to go on the top. All right, like that. Make it look all nice and yummy. Look at those pretty colors, the red, the white, and the green in there. That looks so pretty. Okay, and because I did add these tomatoes on top, I'm just gonna add some oregano on top of them to make them look pretty. A little bit of pepper. Let's put that one there. And then I'm gonna get some butter and just cut it up into little bits. Toss them here and there. Another tablespoon here. And just cut it up in little pieces. Okay, and now to make my green beans just a little bit more special, I'm gonna put some of this Monterey Jack cheese. I thought about putting some on top of the chicken, but I decided that I would put some into my green beans instead. So again, I'm just gonna slice them up just like that, little thin slices, and then I'll just cut them up into little bits. You don't have to do that. You can just put the slices on there whole if you want, but I'm just gonna cut little pieces like that, toss them in, and just put as much or as little as you want. It's hard to tell the cheese from the butter. Look what I did. This one came out different. Okay. Okay, so now our cheese is on our little casserole dish with our green beans and tomatoes, and this is going to go in the oven. And I'm going to probably put this in there for about 7 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and check on my chicken as well and see if it needs any more time. Let's see, it's been about 3 minutes or so that it's been in there. All right, so I decided to make some garlic bread. So I've got some butter on some sliced white bread, and now I'm going to sprinkle some of this garlic powder over it. And this is going to go into the oven as well once I get everything out of the oven, so that it can just lightly toast a bit and the butter can melt. And I'm also going to top it off with some of this oregano just to make it look pretty, because you know I'm extra like that, so that's what I'm doing. And this is ready now to be put in the oven. All right, it's been about 10 minutes now, and this is my chicken. It's almost done here. The potatoes are almost as soft as I need them to be. I still have my green beans in there. The cheese is already starting to melt down there, but I'm gonna leave this in there for a few more minutes just to make sure that the chicken is fully cooked. All right, everyone, here is my lovely chicken with Monterey Jack cheese and the red potatoes all seasoned up. Our green beans are also ready with the tomatoes and some more of that Monterey Jack cheese. And of course, I made some garlic bread here on the side to serve. Let's go ahead and plate this up and take a little taste of this and see how it all is. Let me show you this chicken breast up close. There you go, so you can see all that cheese melting in there. Some of those onions hanging on for dear life. Put this on our plate here with our yummy potatoes and our green beans. And I'm just putting some more onions on the top because they look so yummy and juicy. And there we go. That looks beautiful. There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and give this a taste. And I'm gonna cut right into the end here so I can make sure I get some of that cheese. And I want you to see the inside of the chicken, how it got cooked really well. It was in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. And it all just depends on how many chicken breasts you put into your skillet, or if you have a bigger pan that you're gonna put them in, how thick or big your chicken breasts are gonna be. So here we go, we're gonna give that a taste. Look at these green beans. And the potatoes. So there you go. There is my chicken with Monterey Jack cheese, seasoned red potatoes, and some green beans, and then some little garlic toast on the side. You know, that is certainly optional. So let me know what you think of my dinner tonight. Give me a big old thumbs up. I'm gonna give myself a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and please hit that little notification bell so that you can get notifications of when I upload. And I upload on Tuesdays. I do crafts on Tuesdays, and I upload on Fridays as well. And Fridays is a nice recipe for you. So also let me know, give a nice comment down below and let me know some of the things that you like to see me cook or craft for you. And make sure you share this particular video in your social medias. And as always, enjoy.